Moscow, Idaho. A judge entered pleas of not guilty to all charges for Bryan Kohberger at his arraignment Monday, more than 6 months after police allege he fatally stabbed 4 University of Idaho undergrads in their off-campus home. Deputies escorted Kohberger into the courtroom around 9 a.m., where he stood before Judge John Judge. The defendant, wearing an orange jumpsuit and no handcuffs, smiled at his defense attorney, Kootenai County Public Defender Ann Taylor, and sat quietly. He nodded as Judge read his rights aloud. Taylor is being contracted to represent Kohberger in Latah County, where the Moscow student slayings were carried out, because of her expertise in handling capital murder cases. Taylor said they would be standing silent, so Judge entered the not guilty pleas for the charges against Kohberger. Standing silent means the defendant does not take a guilty or not guilty stance but has the same outcome as pleading not guilty. Idaho lawyer Edwina Elcox, who previously represented cult mom Lori Vallow, noted that because Kohberger did not enter a guilty plea himself, his decision to stand silent can be a tactic to continue negotiations with the prosecution. The fathers of victims Kylie Goncalves and Madison Mogan, Steve Goncalves and Ben Mogan, shook hands after Monday's hearing at the Latah County Courthouse. Kaylee's sister, Olivia Goncalves, said it was important for her family to be present at Monday's hearing. Kohberger faces 4 charges of first-degree murder and another count of felony burglary in connection with the November 13, 2022, stabbings of Mogan, 21, Goncalves, 21, Xana Kernadal, 20, and Ethan Chapin, 20. The prosecutor's office has 60 days to notify the defense if they are seeking the death penalty. Taylor asked the judge for a 6-week trial beginning in October, which judge approved. He set an October 2 start date nearly a year after the slayings. The 3 young women lived together in a 6-bedroom home just steps off campus in Moscow with 2 other housemates who were not targeted. Chapin was dating Kernadal and visiting for the night just days before the students would have left for Thanksgiving break. Kohberger, 28, was studying for a Ph.D. at the neighboring Washington State University. In previously unsealed court documents, police alleged that they traced Kohberger's vehicle, a white Hyundai Elantra, to the victim's home at least a dozen times prior to the murders and then once more just hours later but before police arrived at the scene. They also allegedly found DNA evidence on a Ka-Bar knife sheath found next to Mogan's body. All 4 students had been stabbed to death, according to Latah County Coroner Kathy Mabut, and at least some of them were likely sleeping at the start of the 4 a.m. ambush. Kohberger is being held without bail at the Latah County Jail in Moscow. He could face the death penalty if convicted. The suspect could face 10 years in prison and up to 4 consecutive life sentences if he is found guilty.